So
program design, I think.
Hey, you got a minute?
yeah. You got a minute for active participation and checking for understanding?
I think we do, because this is sort of a really important core principle in teaching.
Absolutely. It's really important to understand that they're two differentiated things and that we do them for different reasons. So active participation we do to engage the minds of the students.
Okay.
And then checking for understanding is we gather data, we monitor what the kids are doing, and then we adjust. Because you can't just assume the kids are learning it. You can't wait to the end to find out if the kids learned it. What we want to do is adjust all the way through that lesson. So that's the difference between the two, the biggest difference between the two. So let me just talk about active participation for a minute.
All right.
So active participation has a very formal definition. Are you ready?
Sure.
It's consistent.
Okay.
It means the teacher's doing it all the way through all the lessons. It's ongoing, meaning that the teacher's doing all the time throughout the entire year. It's simultaneous.
So it's simultaneous?
It is simultaneous.
Would that be at the same time?
At the same time.
At the same time. Okay.
All the students are doing something at the same time.
Right.
Then it's about the engagement of the learners.
Okay.
So the kids are doing something that's interesting. Could be a lab.
Yep.
It could be working in groups. It could even be doing something like solving math problems at your desk.
Anything.
It's just anything where the kids are engaged. And then it's with the content. So with what they're supposed to be studying.
So engage both, not just with themselves, but the main thing is engage with content in
Exactly.
subject. Okay.
So again, it's consistent,
Yep.
ongoing, simultaneous engagement of the minds of all the learners with the content. If kids do that, what happens is they actually dig deep into that
Sure.
and become more interested in school.
Okay.
That's important. However, active participation in and of itself is not enough.
You need data. You need data to know whether or not they're getting it.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because you can be watching the kids and they all look engaged, but you know that back table is really talking about the Friday night dance.
Absolutely.
So what you need to do is you have to monitor what the
Okay.
kids are doing, and we call that checking for understanding.
So did you get it? Any questions?
Yeah, those are some questions that we don't want to use.
Okay.
Sorry, don't use those questions. Because what we really want to do when we check for understanding is to gather some data.
So there's ways of checking for understanding. You have the experience for the students.
Right.
And then the teacher has to see if the experience is making a difference.
If they have learned what they wanted them to learn.
So the teacher needs to collect data. There's a myriad of ways of collecting data. What would be a couple of good,
It's
effective
interesting
ways?
because one of the things we want teachers to do is ask students to do something that's what we call covert or covered.
Okay.
We want them to think, imagine, pretend, visualize. Because what happens, the students then spend a little time inside their heads,
Sure.
gets the quality of the response much higher, and then we want the teacher to ask the students to do something overtly or observable.
So
So,
they have
like,
to write something down,
write
raise
something
their hand,
down.
provide an answer.
Exactly. Whiteboards,
All of them
point,
hold up. Okay.
point to a corner, and again, it's simultaneous.
Yeah.
And why would we want simultaneous?
It's quick assessment in a sense. Where's the group? How
Exactly.
quickly can I move this?
And we also want simultaneous because we know that the EL students or the students that weren't paying attention or weren't learning are going to be looking around for the answer. And if they aren't simultaneous,
Right.
you know that they are stealing an answer from someone else. So that's data, though, to the teacher. So what we want is the teachers to have an experience, active participation, then check for understanding by
Gather the
asking
data.
covert
Sure.
to overt responses. Use that overt response because it's observable as data.
Absolutely.
And if the kids got it, move on.
No, teach it again, louder.
Yeah. If the kids don't get it, don't teach it again louder. Go
No.
back, modify what you're doing,
Absolutely.
and adjust your teaching
Absolutely.
so that you know that by the time the kids are assessed in that lesson, they got it.
So a great example of informal assessment, taking data, confirming whether the experience was effective, and if not, adjust.
Absolutely.
And reteach where they need reteaching.
And the benefit of that is kids learn more, better, faster.
Absolutely.
The teacher knows if they
Yeah.
got it. The kids know if they got it. Everybody feels successful.
It's a quick gap analysis, and then you attack the gap.
Absolutely.
How cool.
It's really fun too.
Glad I had a minute. And that was a minute.